The Galactic Assembly once believed humanity to be a minor, unremarkable species. They lived on a toxic, gravity-heavy death world called Earth, barely touched interstellar travel, and clung to outdated kinetic weaponry. Their culture was fragmented, chaotic. Their history bathed in war. To the Thalkesh Dominion, this made them primitive. To the Ilarian High Mind, this made them savage. To the Veil Consortium, they were a curiosity worth study, not respect. But then came the Korok Swarm, a hive species, billions strong. No diplomacy, no surrender. They tore through civilized worlds, devoured planets, and turned orbital habitats into breeding hives. The Assembly's elite defense fleets, clean, advanced, and tactical, were swept aside like twigs in a storm. In desperation, they reached out to every member race, pleading for help. Earth responded. 1 fleet, 20 ships. The Assembly laughed. "Is this a joke?" One Veil ambassador said. "The humans send relics. Steel hulls and combustion-based missiles." But no one laughed once the fighting began. The human fleet didn't just engage. They hunted. No AI-guided drones. No precision sterilizers. Just brutal, calculated aggression. They moved like predators, bending physics using gravitational slingshots and kamikaze decoys to lure swarm ships into planetary gravity wells. When boarding parties came, humans didn't fall back. They welcomed them with flamethrowers and shotguns. The Ilarian High Mind watched one such engagement from the Assembly command station. A human commander, callsign Ash Widow, ordered her Marines to breach a swarm carrier. "You're outnumbered," the High Mind had warned. "We always are," she said, then cut the feed. 3 hours later, the swarm ship exploded from the inside. A week passed. Then 2. Systems the Assembly had written off were suddenly free. Human assault teams landed on corrupted planets without environmental suits. Some died. Most didn't. They fought through disease, acid rain, and atmospheric toxins that would kill most species on contact. They didn't wait for reinforcements. They were the reinforcements. The Veil, ever the scholars, began digging into Earth's history, and were horrified. The humans had fought world wars not centuries ago, but decades. They had perfected urban warfare. They had used nuclear weapons on themselves. Their military doctrines taught not just victory, but annihilation. A human soldier's motto wasn't survive. It was complete the mission. They didn't retreat. They didn't surrender. They didn't stop. And then came the Battle of Theros Prime, a vital Assembly stronghold. Swarm tendrils converged from 3 directions. Every defensive line had failed. The Assembly prepared evacuation. Hope was gone. Then the humans arrived. Not with ships this time, but with dropships. Thousands of them. They didn't defend the cities. They jumped behind enemy lines. The swarm adapted. They always adapted. But for once, they couldn't keep up. The humans changed tactics every hour. Coordinated firestorms. Psychological warfare. Plasma-laced trenches. Swarm queens were assassinated in their hives with homemade explosives. Human soldiers broadcast taunts across open channels. "Come and get it," they'd say. One Korok queen was captured alive. A feat no species had ever accomplished. Under interrogation, telepathic and physical, it gave only one answer: "We fear them, the ones of war. They are not prey. They are death." After Theros, the Assembly stopped calling humans primitive. They called them what they were: gods of war. 3 months later, the swarm was gone, burned out of the stars. The Assembly reconvened, this time with humans seated at the high table. Their ambassador, General Kara Idris, addressed the chamber. "You thought we were savages," she said, her voice echoing through the hall. "But we've been fighting monsters since we learned to walk upright. We didn't evolve despite our violent world, we evolved because of it. War isn't new to us. It's in our bones." The silence was heavy. No one objected. General Idris continued, "We do not enjoy war. We do not seek it. But when it finds us, we end it. If that makes us gods, so be it. But remember, we were the last ones you called." She left the stage. and the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. Why are humans the gods of war? Because when the stars fell silent, and hope burned low, it was not the most advanced, peaceful, or logical species that stood victorious. It was the furious ones, the fireborn, the deathworlders, the humans.